Grab something to eat. Come on, or snack. I know that's part of the problem. Hey, birthday girl. Yeah, it's like we can't believe our scores.
It's the same way.
And somehow I paid you.
So you're upset? 5-7.
I'll do that. 3.
What's your favorite? Yeah, I know.
Nice lady.
Why are you laughing at me like that?
I'm glad you're graduating. Have a seat if you're just got signed in. There's chairs up here. Should we sing happy birthday? Happy birthday. No. All right, good morning. Good morning. Welcome. We have a mantra in Pebble Beach that if you're on time, you're already late. And if you're early, you are on time. Remember that for the future, okay? All right, so welcome to the first information session for this upcoming year for Pebble Beach Special Event Management Team, also called SJSU HTEM, just in case you're wondering. With me today is Gretchen Melvin. I call her the Director of Special Events, even though she doesn't like that title. Hector Najera, my student coordinator. Claire Toomey, Victoria Rodriguez, and Wandy Muni somewhere around here. She went to class. These are student directors and directors from last year that will be assisting this next coming year's team. Let's see here. First, we're going to start with a video, and then we'll get this thing rolling. There you go. Yep. It's a too hanky video. Just remember that. And
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of weight since that picture, so don't disregard that. So, what do you think? Pretty cool, huh? All right, so next thing we're going to do here, I want you to, we're going to take a moment to introduce yourself to your partner next to you. Shake hands, do whatever you do for about a minute, and we'll get started, okay? Go ahead.
My name is Julie. Sorry? Han? Nice to meet you. My name is Alexia. I'm sorry?
I'm just, I'm
Yeah. Oh, you are?
video.
Are you a Oh, you are? Are you guys living on video? Are you guys? I was in. How do you like it? It's okay. It's okay. Where are you from?
I think our group wanted to go like Mexico, but like I would not be like surprised that if it would be like pink. So like I'll just take to be honest, we'll just take one. You go?
Yeah, I'm living in Washington.
I'll try that.
I'm you know where Country Valley is? Like the Hayward.
But then also
Are you guys married? Yeah. Are you guys married? Yeah. I think you're about to come I'm just looking at oh, yeah. What about you? Wait, what's your name? Are you in my class? I have Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Oh, I haven't.
So you may be, if you apply for the program, you get you may be seeing some of these people again, so try to remember their faces. I'm now going to introduce Gretchen and Melvin, who will take on the first part of this program. Gretchen?
Hi, thank you. Hi, everyone. As Gary said, my name is Gretchen Melvin, although I'd love to be director of special events and actually the special events manager. There is a director. I have been with Pebble Beach since April of 2003. I've been at the company for over 20 years, and I'm excited to be here. thank you all for being here. 2024 it's starting, and we are very excited. We are ready at Pebble Beach for you guys. So I would like to start by introducing Hector.
Same thing as what Terry said. I hope I lost some weight during that picture too. But anyways, yeah, my name is Hector Nahara. I help serve on the on-course food and beverage team, and I am a business management major. And my expected graduation year is this coming spring, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to having all this experience with you guys too. And enough said, I'm gonna pass it on to Claire.
Sweet. Hi everybody, I'm Claire. I'll be the on-course food and bevs director for you guys this year. I'm a fourth-year human resources major. Super excited to get this thing kick-started. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. And then this is Tori.
Hi everyone, I'm Tori. I'm also a hospitality director, hospitality team. I'm a fourth-year business management major. I'm looking forward to this group that's coming up. And you may have seen Blondie, who had to leave to take a physics exam. So she, if you know her, she is our other director, hospitality director for this year. So let's get started. I'll tell you a little bit about this program. This was the brainchild of the former director of special events who recently retired, and he was at Pebble Beach for 32 years. It started in 1991 with UNLV as preparation for the U.S. Men's Open, such a huge event, and we needed extra help, and that's how it started. The last year was in 2005 with UNLV. We bid out to different schools, and San Jose was our choice. So we've been with San Jose and Pebble Beach partnership since 2006. And so this year, it will be our 18th year. We had to take a break, unfortunately, due to COVID, and we are looking forward to year 18. How many of you have heard about Pebble Beach or visited Pebble Beach? Okay, we're not too far away. As you saw from the video, you're in for quite an experience. That's quite a view from the office. That is our view from the office every day. So we are, Pebble Beach is the top #1 public golf course in the nation, top golf resort in the nation, and we are internationally recognized and world renowned. But it's really more than just golf. Pebble Beach Golf is the most famous thing, but really we have 3 hotels, we have 5 courses, we have a 5-star spa, which is only one of 41 in the world. We have 2 tennis facilities, a beach club, we have an equestrian center, we have a retail division, a real estate division that maintains the roads and the forests. So we have about 1,800 employees at Pebble Beach, it's a big company. We just opened a new short course a year and a half ago that was designed with Tiger Woods, which was really fun. It's been a big hit at Pebble Beach. And then if you can notice the last award, which we are very proud of, we really have a mind for sustainability. And so for our last tournament, we diverted 93% of waste during the tournament. So this is a big tournament, but also we're doing our part to give back and to be ecologically minded, I should say. So this company has been around since 1919. We celebrated our centennial a few years ago. It's a tradition, and you can be part of this big tradition. So at Pebble Beach, major events that we have. This is our first event of the year, so this is in February, the AT&T. And then back again is Pebble Beach Food and Wine in April. It's taking a break, and so we are excited to have it back. We were just beyond honored to host the U.S. Women's Open in July, the first one at Pebble Beach, the first Women's Open. And I got to shout out Ashlyn, who was an intern for the USGA during the U.S. Women's Open. Plenty of experiences and opportunities at Pebble Beach. We just had Concours in August and finished up with the Pure Insurance Championship, impacting first tee. That we just had that finished on Sunday in a 4-hole playoff. So we're on to the next one, which is AT&T. So if you get chosen for the team and working through the program, getting through this program, then we invite you back to work on these events. You'll get to come back to Pebble Beach as long as you want and work these events in different capacities as employees and supervisors. So this becomes a great resume builder for you and possibly full-time employment with Pebble. Are any of you golfers? 1, 2, okay, not a whole lot. It doesn't matter if you're not, because you probably won't even see golf the whole time. That's probably a fact. But this tournament has been played at Pebble Beach since 1947, and it is organized by the Monterey Peninsula Foundation, which is a not-for-profit organization. So this is a very charity-focused event for us. So last year, the Monterey Peninsula Foundation gave over $14.5 million to charities, and that all goes back to local charities in Monterey County. MPF was the first tournament on the PGA to reach $200 million given, which is kind of a big deal. Has 100,000 spectators in the past. It's on TV, millions of TV viewers, and an annual economic impact of over $65 million in the local community with the hotel rooms from that week and restaurants and guests and visitors and all those things. So you will be part of something a little bigger than just what's in it for you. It actually really benefits the community, the local community, and that's important. And since we're so good at planning, the first year of San Jose State, 2006, the winner was Aaron Oberholzer, who was a San Jose alum. Seemed like a sign at the time, so we keep it in because it was kind of cool. This year's winner champion was Justin Rose, and the tournament first place prize was over $1.6 million. So it's a very important event for them, and important event for the PGA Tour. But another fun part of it is the celebrities. This is a pro-am after all, so there are amateurs and celebrities who are playing, and so you'll be able to see, well, I don't know if you'll see them, you'll be working, but it's a big draw for, I don't know, did you guys see any? I don't know if you.
I know Bill Murray went to like somebody's tent and asked for a hot dog. I saw Nakamura outside my school.
Yeah, that's cool. He's actually kind of a nice guy.
Jason Bateman was out there too, and then Aaron Rodgers. It was really cool.
It's just another factor of the tournament, and kind of exciting to see who's going to be playing this year. But all that aside, the question is what you will be doing, you as a San Jose student and SEMT member. So you will be selected on either hospitalities team or Encore's food and beverage operations. And I'll just answer the question now, is that we make that selection. So it's not, after you go through the interview and we choose everybody, then we assign everybody to the teams. So we'll start by talking about hospitalities. And basically for hospitalities, you manage and oversee multiple or single, depends on what your assignment is, corporate clients. And so these are VIP guests that are in corporate hospitality areas or luxury suites called sky suites, or any kind of VIP areas. You'll be responsible for managing breakfast, lunch, afternoon snacks, and bar and beverage service. So basically hosting your clients' guests and making sure that everything's running on schedule and on track. You will be interacting with these clients, but also with servers and bartenders and the culinary team to ensure a flawless guest experience. It's Pebble Beach after all. And you'll also at the same time be managing the staff of 10 or more Pebble Beach or temporary employees. And here is our 2023 Hospitalities 18 team. So you can see here Wandy and Tori. So ask them questions if you like, or any other fellow students that you know. We have a lot of different majors represented, so please feel free to ask any that you know about this experience. And this was the 2017 Hospitalities team. So again, if you recognize any of them, ask them. We've had quite a few came back and worked Concord and US Women's Open. So they liked it so much they keep coming back. So ask them about it. Here's some of the areas you'd be working. So this is on the 17th green. This is the Sky Suite. So this is kind of the facilities that we're talking about. They're temporary facilities that are built and you'd be managing inside these facilities. Which look pretty fancy. I'm going to say it again, not a bad view from the office. That's where you'd be working, which is pretty cool. There are different styles of interiors, but that's basically what a hospitality looks like on the inside, and that's what you'd be managing. The bar and food and beverage service inside. And then you can see here our student manager here is at the buffet managing and with guests all around. And the most glamorous picture, why am I showing you this? Because it's a lot of stairs. We're on the second and third levels in some cases. So you would just have to be prepared that that is the case. We are climbing stairs, and it's fine. After a couple days, you get used to it. I don't know, did you get used to it? You're like, but it was worth it. It was fun. And also maybe managing some F&B or hospitalities within the lunch. So there's different areas that you might be posted if you are on the hospitalities team. Next is Encore's Food and Beverage Operations Team. We call it OC for short. You hear that? And OC is responsible for providing food and beverage to the daily spectators on the courses. So this could be up to 30,000 people a day that we're feeding, especially on Saturday, a big day. Claire, you were at the most busy spot. Claire and Hector were at the most busy spot. So you manage a staff of workers, so cashiers, servers, runners, prep cooks, and then you also manage volunteers, which is a whole nother ballgame. So you could have up to 40 people working for you, even more.
We had about 6.
Yeah, 40, yeah, so it's a lot. You set up and detailed organization of Encore's food facilities. You're responsible for inventory management and reordering, and again, providing an efficient and friendly guest experience. So these are all the concessions on course. This the tents. They're not even stands, because that one is a huge build out. It's a big responsibility. So let's see. This is the team from last year. Again, Claire is on here and Hector. They were actually in the same tent together. So ask them questions about it if you see them and their experience and how the week went for them. But you can see it's their actual structures, temporary structures, and nice and clean setup is very important. One of our very important things at Pebble Beach is attention to detail. In this case, it's very critical. So when the guests walk up, it's a good experience for them. Some of our volunteers. So you can see we have volunteers of all ages and all abilities. And that is your task and duty to find out their strengths and put them to work in the right way, that they have a good experience and also that the tent runs smoothly. And they're here because they get a cut of the total revenue. So they're here to, again, another charity. They're getting money for their organization. That's why they are here. So they're very, very important to us. And again, just a little more few pictures of the concessions tents. Again, we've got some very organized SEMT managers who set these up, and you'll learn how to set these up and learn how to make decisions on the flow of your tent wherever you're assigned and what works for you. And our last picture here is our triangle concession. As I said, it's a very, very big one. It's a big build out on the deck, and so there were three student managers in there because of the size, and so worked well. You guys did great. But a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. Okay. Next, you want to do this together, or I can talk about the departments. This is a self-managing team and class. So this means that in addition to the hospitality role that you are in, or on-course food and beverage role that you're in, you'll also be assigned to a department, and this is a class department. And these are the different departments that you will be assigned to. It starts from the very first day, after our first orientation in December, and that department work goes until the very end of the tournament, I guess, or some work after. So it's an additional part of this. So briefly, we will talk about catering.
Where we at? Okay, so from the catering perspective, one of the teams that's been selected as part of our program will be responsible for planning all the dinners in the evening once we're in Pebble Beach, including planning for the class reunion or the alumni reunion that we do during the training season as well. So they reach out to certain restaurants, they get menus, they have a budget, they get catering contracts, and they negotiate pricing on all the food that they're gonna be served to the rest of our students at night when we're back at the hotel. A couple nights we go out, and most of the nights we stay in, and the food is catered to us there. So it's all taken care of by Pebble Beach. Let's see, during the week of training, what are you doing? I don't know, whatever. Okay, communications and historian, go ahead.
Communications historians is facilitating communications for the team. So they create a photo documentation of the entire experience, and they help to organize the annual reunion. They put together contact cards, emergency contacts, that kind of thing for your families who will be here while you're at Pebble Beach for the week.
Convention services is another small group as part of the training session who are responsible for setting the classrooms up every day in classroom style and the rooms that we use for lunch. Now, some of you in my class, I've shown you pictures of how we set these rooms. It's exactly how you would see it if you went to a 5-star resort, how they will set their big banquet rooms. We set our classrooms the exact same way, with linen, skirting, we use chafing dishes. All this comes from Pebble Beach, they bring up here. So they're responsible for the setup, cleanup of the rooms every single day during training week.
And then the food and beverage provides the food put in those chafing dishes. So that department is responsible for securing meals, breakfast and lunch, snacks, any donations or any deals they get from restaurants that they work in or people that kind of thing. So they are responsible for feeding the team during the training week.
Housing, of course, we're providing all of your housing for the week that you're down there during the tournament. Pebble Beach picks up the tab on that. We stay at a really, really nice hotel in downtown Monterey. And we also provide uniform for all the staff to be working on the course during the week. So really, you're going to be responsible for black pants and your shoes. Other parts of the uniform will be provided and will be cleaned daily by the laundry services at Pebble Beach.
Next is HR, medical safety. In this department, if there are any HR majors here, they actually set the rules for the week. And there's a policy an employee handbook, basically, that they create for the week, and that's distributed, and then they're in charge of enforcing it. So that's a little bit of a new experience on kind of managing your peers to make sure they follow the rules that you have set forth. But that is the role of the HR department, and then to gather all medical and safety information for the team.
Cool. Transportation, you're probably wondering, well, how do we get there? Pebble Beach provides all the transportation to Pebble Beach and to the hotel, and from Pebble Beach back to San Jose at the end of the tournament. Pebble Beach rents 8 minivans, and we leave San Jose State, park and ride lot on South 7th Street at 6:30 in the morning. I'll go over this in a minute. So we load up the vans and we van pool down to Pebble Beach for the first day. So you never have to worry about driving anywhere. We take care of all of that for you.
And really, believe it or not, these skills that you learn, they'll apply to event week, like the convention services, learns how to set up the phase, then that translates into concessions, that translates into hospitality, that translates into management of your staff that you're gonna have. So these actually provide a double benefit. Not only are they helping the team, but they're also preparing you for the week ahead. Okay, are you ready?
Thank you. All right. So the next slide we have, it's a 3-unit class. It's an elective. Okay? And those that are selected will need to enroll in HTEM 86. I control the ad codes. If you're selected for the team, it will be given to you during orientation or the first week of training. I'm not sure if we do the ad code. Orientation will get out the ad code. Now, there will be some people that won't be able to enroll in the class because they're carrying too many units. Once that expires, everybody will be enrolled in the class, so don't worry about that. You're also going to be required to have a food handler certification, which you can get online. And then we also do what's called a TIP certification now, which is alcohol awareness, which you can also do online. All selected students will be required to have that certification going in. How many of you have a food safety handler in there? Holy cow. Well, excuse me, good job.
They're pretty easy to get, right? It doesn't start.
International students should apply for curricular practical training to participate in the SEMT program. Dr. I don't even know what that is. Is that good?
Yep.
I think that's good.
All right. Next slide. Oh, there we go. Here is the schedule. These are, you can take a picture of the screen, or well, you have a handout, most of you on that anyway, don't you?
Yes.
So this is what we live by. To be on the team, when you're selected, you have to be there for these mandatory training dates. If you miss a session, you miss too much information. So you need to tell us that you're going to be there every day for training. Winter break, as you can see. So the first training session is December 2nd in BBC 121, which most of you are familiar with. It's a short session from 8:30 to 1 o'clock where we assign you to the team, we get you measured for your shirts, and we have a little continental breakfast. We talk about the other things in more detail about what's going to happen during training. That's a half a day. Kind of get your feet wet a little bit, get to know each other even more, because we go through this whole process of getting to know each other. Because honestly, you're going to be bonded after this thing is over, for sure. The first day of training for setup is January 2nd, 2024, from 1 to 5 p.m., where we set up all those classrooms in BBC 121 through 125, 126, 28, and 30. All those rooms are set in a certain setup for classroom for training, but it's all done by you guys. The first day of regular training is January 3rd on Wednesday from 8 to 5. Yep, it's 8 to 5. Don't show up at 7:59. That's all I can say. All right? I've already warned everybody about that. So it's a full day of training. We provide breakfast in the morning, and we provide lunch in the afternoon. These are very intense classroom sessions for the first 2 days, where we go over the history of Pebble Beach, other information you may need, introduction of other players that you might be interacting with. Same situation happens on Wednesday, 8 to 5 p.m., classroom training. Same situation, breakfast in the morning, lunch in the afternoon. Thursday, these are called breakout sessions, where you're going to be working with a Pebble Beach manager on your specific area of concentration. So they'll be up here that day, and you'll be taking aside your breakouts, and you go in more detail of what your job is actually going to be when you're at Pebble. Same thing happens on Friday. Yeah, Thursday's for breakout? Or did we change that?
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and Friday and Saturday, same situation, breakout rooms all day long. They go over everything again and again and again. It's a ton of information to learn. But the thing about what we do here, we don't allow you to fail. So no matter what happens, we're going to make sure you're successful. But that's our responsibility to you. So Saturday, we break down the afternoon of Saturday the 6th. Our next session is a half day on Friday, January 12th, where we go over other programs we'll be doing. We start talking about human resources and uniforms, and there's presentations on Saturday the 12th and Saturday the 20th. We actually go to Pebble Beach. This is a carpool situation where we ask the students to carpool to get to Pebble Beach for an all-day session. Pebble Beach will provide a really beautiful breakfast buffet in the morning. And then you go out to all these different places on the course with your Pebble Beach manager to learn more about where you'll be working. And we also have a wonderful thing called golf cart training. How many have driven a golf cart? Raise your hand. Good. Well, you get a chance to do that if you're selected. Most students won't be using a golf cart while the tournament is in session, but some of you will be. But it's a fun day, it's about an hour, hour and a half, where everybody gets a chance to go through an obstacle course with a golf course. No one has died. We run over a few cones.
Maybe a tree.
Maybe a tree or two, but that's about it. But it's really intended to be a fun session. And that goes all day long. They've also provided a nice meal at 5 or 6 o'clock even before we leave. Then we have our last training day on January 27th. Again, it's a half day where all the departments do their presentations that they've been working on. We have an HR presentation, we have a food and beverage presentation, somebody does a presentation on uniforms and what you're going to be wearing. We talk about rain gear, all that stuff we cover. And then, of course, the event week, 29th to the 4th, we gather at the Park and Ride lot, 7th Street, South 7th Street, right across from the football stadium. We arrive there really early in the morning. We call it 0 dark 30. And we get everybody loaded up in the minivans, all the baggage, make sure everybody's there. And then we van pool down to Pebble Beach. Hopefully get there on time next year.
And in the right spot.
And the right spot. We have breakfast, and then again, you go off with your Pebble Beach manager to start the setup of where you'll be working once the tournament starts. So the tournament actually starts on a Thursday, So we've got a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for familiarity things, where you're gonna be working, how to set up stuff. So you learn everything about that part of it during the first part of the week. It's intense, for sure. And like I tell my students, if you get Pebble Beach on your resume, you are golden for pretty much the rest of your career. Everybody is familiar with Pebble Beach. When you have that on your resume that you work there in a lead position as a supervisor or a manager, which is what you'll be doing, and that wakes people's employers up. All right, so it can't hurt anybody that's been through the program. I have a couple students back here, their bar has probably helped them a little bit already, and even more so once they graduate. Okay?
One thing I'd like to add, Terry mentioned that we have food all day, but we also have coffee all day.
Oh, yeah, lots
They
of,
are long days, but for you coffee drinkers, we've got a couple coffee machines unlimited for the day, so.
and
It's
then-
intense, but we'll keep you caffeinated.
yeah, and Red Bull, of course.
And ready.
So let's see if I missed anything here. We sponsor your stay. All you have to take money for is if you're buying amenities. You have to go to CVS or something, and have enough money at the end of the last day, the day we leave on a Monday. All after we have our going away speeches, everybody gets a chance to go to the gift shops and purchase everything at a huge discount. So it's pretty cool. You get a lot of stuff on sale there. We have a zero tolerance policy for alcohol and drugs. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? Don't even think about it. So after all these sessions, you're going to be ready to go. It seems like a lot, and it is. But we make sure we're on top of it to make sure you're going to be successful all the way through. We don't expect you to be experienced managers or experienced leaders. For most of you, this is the first shot. Okay? So we know that. If you were very experienced and you had all this manager experience, you wouldn't be selected for the team anyway. It's for people that want to learn. And we're going to provide that opportunity with Pebble Beach so that you can do that. So again, we're departing at 6:30 a.m. on a Monday morning. You're going to miss class. Just so you know, you're going to miss a week. So one of the questions I'm going to get asked is, well, my professor wants a note. Okay, I have a little form thing. I can put your name in there and pop it to you. You can send it, give it to your professor. You're excused, period. The business school realizes how important this class is and this experience is. So I've never had a professor say, no, they can't go, ever. But that does not excuse you from homework. Now, if you're one of my students, you got nothing to worry about. But I can't speak for other professors at the university, so some students do have homework during the week they have to get to once they get back to the hotel at night. All right, let's see here. What's leadership skills? Thanks, Mom. Oh, good. Okay, so anyway,
So we come back on Monday, the February 5th,
Yes.
so you'll also do classes that day. Classes will probably just started, so you will probably, we don't get back till late afternoon.
listen,
Those classes too.
when you come back from Pebble Beach, the last thing you want to do is go to class on that Monday. But you're not excused necessarily. However, you're going to feel the effects of that long week by the time you get back. In fact, sometimes it takes a week to recover. For me, it takes longer. All right, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Next slide, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, here. I get confused.
Okay, so what's in it for you? Why should you participate? In addition to what we've talked about, there's just a few things that I think are worth mentioning, which is strengthening your leadership skills. As Terry mentioned, you may not have any management experience, and that's okay. That's what this is for. The first 2 days of training, we're teaching you the principles of management and leadership to get you ready, and it's tailored to what you'll be experiencing, the kind of staff that you'll have, the job that you'll be doing. So you're going to get leadership and management skills. And then you get a chance to apply it in a real world situation with real staff and real volunteers, and kind of learn what your style is and what your strengths are. And maybe there's some areas that you're learning that you need to work on, which you wouldn't know if you didn't go through this. Building a resume, as Terry said, it's Pebble Beach. We are world renowned. You get that on your resume, and it wakes people up, as he said. So it's really tough to get your first management experience. So to get it at a company like this is a once in a lifetime experience. just think about how that could impact you. You can also continue to work at Pebble Beach, coming back for events, so it's further jobs with us. And who knows, maybe even permanent. Personal achievement is a biggie. This is really hard work. It's long days, tournament days are long, it's hard. It is hard, and it's amazing. And it's both those things at the same time. And when you finish this week, you will be amazed at what you have accomplished. Things you didn't even know you could do, you can do. And we know you can do it. So it's just a real sense of personal achievement and growth. Just a little side benefit is networking, to meet personal and professional contacts. We have people who just visited us last week. They were in the program 13 years ago. They have kids together. They were in weddings. They were each other's weddings. It's very possible you make your lifelong best friends, or you won't. But if you're a transfer student, it's the best way to start to meet people that it's just kind of hard to find this opportunity to meet some of your classmates. So we found with transfer students, that's been a really great benefit for them as well. You'll have 35 new friends at the end of it, and how many of your classes can you say that about, right? And finally, I will say, it's just an honor. I still consider it an honor to work with this company. It's been 20 years, and it's an honor for you to participate or even go through the interview process. You'll learn it's panel interviews, and that is shocking the first time you walk into a panel interview. I promise there'll be 6 or 8 Pebble Beach employees, the directors, San Jose staff, and it's a great experience. It's okay to be nervous, and then you never have to do a first panel interview again. So every experience along the way is just a learning and growing experience for you, either personally or professionally. So, and these are all things I've heard from students who have participated. So that's kind of what they get out of it. But if anything should get your attention, it might be this site. And this is a picture of where, as we keep saying, have a Pebble Beach on your resume, but this is where some of our alumni have gone on to work. And a lot of times that they get asked about Pebble Beach experience and management style and all of that, and this is a result of this. So currently at Pebble Beach, we have a few San Jose alumni, SEMT alumni working there. We've had about 35 students over the past, since we've had this program, work at Pebble Beach full time. For Contour that we just had, we had about 35 to 40 San Jose State students, and for AT&T this year, we had over 60 San Jose State students. So it's just the gift that keeps on giving. Here we can see all the different companies that have benefited from our students. We have a LinkedIn alumni group at the end, and after you complete the program, it's a great opportunity for networking, for posting jobs, or for looking for jobs. It's people who have moved on, who've done the program and are maybe hiring, and they know where to come. And so it's pretty exciting to pass that gift along. And then also during the program, we'll have alumni come and speak to you. So we'll talk about what the program was like for them and where they are now and how they got there. And I think for those who are graduating soon, that's a big, it's a big part of your life. And so it's really important. We want to help as much as we can with that process and these alumni. Okay. Here.
So here's how the selection process will work. First, you're going to submit your application online by October 15th, 2023. Applicant interviews are going to be on November 2nd and 3rd on campus. It'll be in the Tower Hall, one of our breakout rooms over there. Business professional dress is expected. If you don't know what that is, we can answer those questions later. My students already know what's expected. We've gone over this already. Each interview should last between 10 to 15 minutes. And you'll be interviewed with a panel of managers from Pebble Beach. Fortunately, I don't get to select anybody because I pick everybody. So that's what the Pebble Beach team will be doing. They'll be selecting the team based on your interview. During this time, you're going to be asking, why should we hire you or why should we pick you? Some of you already know the answer to that, right? We've gone over it. The team will be picked during the days immediately after the interview session. So we'll finish the sessions on that. What day is it? Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday? Whatever. after the sessions are over, we're gonna pick the team. You'll be notified by November 10th via email if you've been selected or not. Gretchen and Hector will require certain forms be filled out for those who are selected. After you've been selected, you will receive a link to the form with the November 13th deadline to accept. Those of you who want to apply, please do so soon. We only pick around 35 students. So normally we had last year 85 or 90 applicants. So the odds are pretty good, those to make the team. Many students, not many, but a few students that didn't make the team one year came back and reapplied the next year and made it. That just shows a lot of courage on their part. So we look really strongly at people like that come back the second year to apply. So you don't give up. Your personality and your communication skills may be the #1 reason why you're selected. So we're not looking for a lot of leadership experience or manager experience. We're going to give you that. But what I can't give you is your personality and your communication skills. You either have it with you or you don't. So they lean very heavily on picking those students that have great communication skills and have a personality to go with it. Because you're representing Pebble Beach, not just San Jose State. Okay? So you're gonna represent and uphold the values and the traditions of Pebble Beach, for sure.
And it looks like everybody took a handout, but we've got some pretty great opportunities with the Career Center. So they will have a resume guidance workshop on October 12th, 2023 from 11 to 12. Hector will follow up with an email after today and give you this information, but just a little more information on how to sign up. And then an interview prep workshop on October 31st. So they've been to our interviews, so they know what we do, and they know what's going on and how to prepare you for a panel interview with Pebble Beach Company. So these are really tailored to this program, getting your resumes in shape, and just giving attention to detail to your resumes, please, because we notice those things when you bring them to the interviews. So again, this ties back to please sign in if you haven't signed in, please sign in before you leave so we can follow up with email with this information. But it's also on your flyer. Okay.
And one last thing, for some of you, this may be the hardest thing you've ever attempted in your life. But anything worth doing is going to be hard. So just remember that. Don't be intimidated by all the stuff we've gone over here. If you're selected, you will get through it. And you come out on the other side of this thing completely different than when you started. I've seen it every single year. Students that come in on training, they're not sure, they're anxious, whatever. By the time they're coming through training and got through Pebble Beach, they come back different people. So we can assure you of that. So stay tuned.
I really encourage you to reach out to the student directors and coordinators and have them talk about their experience and what it did for them and what it meant for them. Okay. Any questions? That was a lot. My card is back there. My information, Hector's information, and Terry's information is on the flyer, so please feel free to email with any questions.
Go ahead.
So say for example, we have to drive down to San Jose State on the day we leave.
Yes.
Is there any place we can keep our cars for us?
No, you will have to that's a good question. You'll have to get transportation.
No, you can park here. They can park here, can't they? Don't you think so?
They don't have a parking permit that time of year. They can get a daily one, but you can't leave here overnight.
No, you can't.
So you'll have to get transportation to the South 7th Street parking lot, Uber, Lyft, or family. That's how it's been done for the last
That's in the
15 years. Huh?
Road City.
And
We had a guy
Yeah.
from San Francisco last
We
year
have
who did not
people-
have a car.
you make it happen.
He made it work. And he was on the early one, so he was on the department that had to be here before everybody else. I think he took 2 buses and a train to get here every day. And then got here and then was carpool down, so, yeah.
I guess another question, for the training, 6th training day at Pebble Beach, is there any way we can park our personal cars on the venue? I mean,
Yes.
At Pebble, yes,
Okay, good.
absolutely, absolutely. And we work the carpooling so that hopefully if there's someone by you, then, we kind of carpool based on location, so you don't necessarily have to come to San Jose State first, just kind of who you live by. Yes, you can absolutely park at Pebble that day.
Thank you.
On the departure day, will we have breakfast that morning or should we?
Yes.
You will have breakfast when you arrive at Pebble. So,
Okay.
which is usually about 8 o'clock. So if you need it earlier, then you're on your own, but otherwise we'll have breakfast for you at 8. Any other questions? Okay, thank you all
Thanks, everybody.
very, very
Thanks
much.
for coming. We're here if you want to ask questions of any staff, the directors, or whatever. You guys, you're everybody figured out where they meet somebody will buy.
Yeah.
Or people meet, sometimes they meet on campus, we park here, or then we park a lot safely, I don't know. But yeah. There's one of our training sessions, everybody gets to the park and see together.
They'll let you know what service to use, because there's a couple different ones. Like, I went to two restaurants, and each restaurant had a different handler's card, so they'll give you the specifics on what you need, but it's not hard, it's generally free. Or it's like,